The time is 9 o'clock and you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
Hi, I'm Micah Branch, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And it is Thursday, January 29th, and today we do not have local news. I have some briefs that have been prepared by our community mentor editor, Katie Tower, and Clinton will be back tomorrow with a story for you. Apologies for yesterday. Clinton wasn't feeling well, but we'll have another story up. And good news on a local journalism note is that we just received word on Monday that we were approved not only for one LGI application, which is the local journalist application that gives us a full-time journalist for 1 year. The grant is funded for 12 months, but we received two grants. So that is from the Changing Narrative grant for a local journalist and also from the regular stream of the LGI, the local journalist. So we'll have more announcements about that, but you can expect a lot more news coming out of CHMA for the next year and a bit. So congratulations to CHMA for getting that funding, and a big thanks to the board and the staff here for making that happen. And here are some local briefs for Thursday, January 29th. A police oversight agency has concluded that a New Brunswick RCMP officer did not commit a crime when he engaged with provincial peace officers conducting an impaired driving investigation into his son. The police watchdog for New Brunswick and Nova Scotia says it investigated after the officer's son was in a motor vehicle accident last year that resulted in a driving suspension and an impaired driving investigation. The agency says the officer spoke to justice and public safety employees working on the file and informed them of his rank with the RCMP despite supervisors directing him not to. The watchdog determined the officer had a personal interest in his son's investigation, but his actions were not dishonest, corrupt, or oppressive. The New Brunswick RCMP say a code of conduct investigation is underway in relation to the incident. And New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt is expected to lay out the priorities and challenges facing her government in the year ahead today in her second State of the Province address. Holt recently said her government put a lot of effort into building a foundation for health care in 2025, and patients will start seeing results in 2026. The Premier has also spoken about the challenges the government has faced, including the vulnerability of the province's forestry sector to U.S. tariffs. In November, the government revealed the deficit had increased to $834.7 million, a 52% increase over the $549 million deficit projected in the March budget. And Newfoundland and Labrador's only university is selling off several buildings in an effort to cut costs. Memorial University will put 3 buildings in St. John's up for sale, as well as its Harlow campus in England. The buildings include the Johnson Geo Centre and the Signal Hill campus overlooking the St. John's Harbour. The university administration is trying to cut spending by more than $25 million as it faces shortfalls driven by inflation, aging infrastructure, and fewer enrollments. And police have charged a 69-year-old Halifax man for allegedly using artificial intelligence to make child sexual abuse images. Police say the investigation began in September and officers arrested the man earlier this week. The investigation is ongoing, but police say they do not believe any real children were involved in the creation of the material. The man is facing charges of distributing, making, and possessing child sexual abuse and exploitation material. A union rally is planned this morning to pressure a video game developer to reopen a Halifax studio that was closed earlier this month. The Canadian branch of the Communications Workers of America says it has filed a complaint with the Nova Scotia Labour Board accusing Ubisoft of closing the Halifax operation in order to shut down the newly formed union. The Paris-based video game company has said the closure had nothing to do with a union drive that resulted in 60 employees joining. The union says Nova Scotia's Labour Minister needs to hold the company accountable since it received $11 million in provincial subsidies. The Canadian Blood Services says it is in desperate need of blood and plasma donations after winter weather disrupted its usual collections. The organization says in the last 6 days alone, it has 1,500 fewer donations than usual. It believes severe winter weather and seasonal illnesses are behind the canceled appointments. It has also canceled 16 donations events this month. And that was your CHMA Atlantic update. Now I will get to your local briefs once I get the right sheets figured out. Sorry, it's been a week. I'm just getting back in the seat. On the local scene, EOS Eco Energy is teaming up with several local community partners to bring a full lineup to its annual Climate Change and Renewable Energy Week. Starting next weekend, EOS is partnering with local community member Emil McBride to host a free canning workshop on Saturday, February the 7th at Open Sky Cooperative from 1 to 3:30 p.m. Participants will gain hands-on experience with hot water bath canning and make vegetable pickles and a fruit jam, covering all the tips, tricks, and safety precautions for how to make your own preserves at home. Registration is required and spots are limited. On Monday, February the 9th, EOS will partner up with Mount Allison's Geography and Environment Society to host a free clothing swap in Tweedy Hall at the University's Student Center from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Donations can be brought to the EOS office at 43D Main Street in advance of the swap or brought directly to the swap. Care Week will also feature a free solar education workshop in conjunction with Woody Thomas of Fundy Solar and Zach Wheeler of Wheeler Electric on Tuesday, February 10th from 12 to 2 p.m. at the Tantramar Civic Center. The workshop will include a presentation, time for questions, and an optional visit to a local home that has solar panels installed. The week will finish off with a virtual webinar on Friday, February 13th from 12 to 1 p.m. that will provide an overview of do-it-yourself ways to reduce your home's flood risk. This year's Care Week also coincides with a joint solar energy campaign between EOS and Beauséjour Renewable Energy Cooperative. Stay tuned for more. For more events, more information on this on these events, you can visit EOS Eco Energy EOSECOENERGY.com. And World Wetlands Days is coming up, and Tantramar is gearing up to celebrate. Tantramar, designated as a wetland city, is marking World Wetlands Day with a couple of events this year, including a wetland photo contest, an open house at the Tantramar Visitor Information Center featuring themed activities. People are encouraged to submit their favorite wetland photos, with judging in two categories, ages 18 and under and over 18. You can email entries to visitor@tantramarmb.com by the end of the day, Sunday, February the 1st. On February the 2nd, World Wetlands Day, the municipality will share 5 finalist photos from each category, and it will open with the public voting until February the 9th. Winners will receive a gift box from local businesses, and their photo will be featured in the 2026 Visitor and Events Guide. The municipality is also hosting a drop-in event at the Visitor Information Center between 3 and 5 p.m., featuring hot dogs, treats, wetland-themed coloring pages, and a large rubber duck for the first 25 young guests who arrive. You can email Ron at visitor@tantramarmb.com for more information. And Tantramar residents are invited to an open house to celebrate Curling Day in Canada. To help celebrate Curling Day in Canada, the Sackville Curling Club will host an open house this Saturday, January the 31st from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Everyone is invited to drop by the Sackville Club at 22 Lansdowne Street anytime throughout the day to check out the club and watch live curling from the facility's comfy lounge, which has been recently renovated. Curlers of all skill levels will be on the ice for the club's annual Family and Friends Bonspiel, an event that brings together those who have been curling for several decades alongside those who are brand new to the sport and some in between. This Bonspiel, which features 16 teams and continues throughout Sunday, is a great way for our area residents to see the community engagement and participation the Sackville Curling Club encourages. The same goal is behind the annual Curling Day in Canada. And those are your local briefs for Thursday, January the 29th. It is 9:09, and let's grab a quick weather update for you for today. The walk-in was it's pretty chilly out there. Pretty chilly, but yeah, It's observed as minus 19. Wind chill says it is minus 26 out there right now. For today, you can expect to be sunny with the wind becoming northwest 20 gusting to 40, a high of minus 9. Wind chill minus 24 this morning, minus 17 this afternoon. Tonight, partially cloudy, 6% chance of flurries before morning. Wind northwest 20 gusting to 40, becoming light this evening. Wind becoming west 20 gusting to 40 before morning. Low of minus 14. Wind chilled minus 23 tonight. Mainly cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries for Friday, January the 30th. Wind west 20 kilometers an hour gusting to 40, high of minus 10. Wind chilled minus 23 in the morning and minus 18 in the afternoon. For Friday night, flurries with a low of minus 10. Mix of sun and cloud on Saturday with a 60% chance of flurries, high of minus 6. Cloudy periods on Saturday night, low of minus 13. Cloudy with a high of minus 5 on Sunday, February the 1st. Snow with a low of minus 8 on Sunday night, February the 1st, Sunday night. And on Monday, periods of snow, windy with a high of minus 4. Cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries and a low of minus 8 on Monday, February 2nd. A mix of sun and cloud, high of minus 5 on Tuesday. Cloudy periods on Tuesday night with a low of minus 15. And finally, a mix of sun and cloud next Wednesday with a high of minus 9. So, we're still into the middle of winter with some flurries on their way into the weekend and into early next week. So lots of snow and cold weather coming just yet, but still, it is kind of lovely. All right, well, let's get into the next segment, and that is Brian Nielsen coming in with your CHMA Sports Update in just 2 seconds. Here we go. Take it away, Brian.
Down under at the Australian Open, we're down to 2 female competitors fighting it out for the glory in tennis's first Grand Slam of the season. Number 1 seed Ariana Sabalenka defeats Svitolina 6-2, 6-3 in straight sets. And then over on the other women's semifinal, Rybakina beat Pegula from the U.S. in straight sets as well, 6-3, 7-6. Men's semifinals happen later today. And the PWHL last night, all the teams in action. 4 games, beginning with the Montreal Victoire shutting out the Toronto Scepters at home 4-3. Went to a shootout in Boston for the Fleet to take down the New York Sirens. The Ottawa Charge double up on the Seattle Torrent 4-2 at home. And the other sweep of the night for home teams saw the Minnesota Frost defeat the Vancouver Golden Eyes 4-1. In men's professional hockey last night, just 3 games on the schedule. It was the New York Islanders defeating the New York Rangers 5-2 at UBS Arena. Columbus Blue Jackets, they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Flyers 5-3, and another 5-goal victory on the docket. The Ottawa Senators, they score 5 goals. They defeat the Colorado Avalanche 5-2. That's right, friends. All the home teams winning in professional hockey last night. And finally, turning to the hardwood in the NBA last night, and what could potentially be LeBron James's last game played in Cleveland, where he started his career. The Cavaliers defeat the LeBron Lakers 129-99. In Indiana, it was the Pacers by 3 over the Bulls, 113-110. The Atlanta Hawks defeat the Boston Celtics in the TD Garden, 117-106. It was the Magic by 9 over the Heat, 133-124. Getting back from their long road trip, there was still some rust on the Raptors. They lose at home to the New York Knicks, 119-92. It was a 112-97 victory for the Hornets over the Memphis down in Tennessee. Timberwolves squeak by the Dallas Mavericks 118-105 in a game that was closer than the final tally. The Golden State Warriors 140-124 victories over the Utah Jazz. And finally, it was a monumental comeback for the San Antonio Spurs down in Dallas, outscoring the Houston Rockets, by 20 in the second half to defeat the squad from the land of the Astrodome, 111-99.
That was Brian Nielsen with your sports update. Brian and I tried our best to get in at 8:30 on the dime weekdays, but tune in tomorrow. Brian will be back, and thanks, Brian. Right around now, we do a local update, seeing what events and things are happening around the marshes. And World Wetlands Days, as we mentioned earlier, is coming up, and CHMA has posted that on their socials. There is a wetland photo contest, but we talked about that earlier. But just put that in your hat. And, for the past couple of days, everyone's been very concentrated on the winter weather, the storm. Even CHMA was deeply affected by that. It's been difficult for hosts to get through when the snow comes in, but we do luckily have some folks working from home, so that certainly helps in these deep snow, deep winter days. Big shout out to folks that are keeping the radio live as well. They have a string of posts about cold weather advisory, and but they do have other things. There is a tourism promotion program for Tantramar businesses, information and networking session. That's coming up Tuesday, next February the 3rd from 7 to 9 p.m. That is at the Tantramar Visitor Information Center, 34 Mallard Drive. And is it the same one? They posted that twice. So that's for local businesses, local business owner or manager. And I lost the text. There we go. The topic will be tourism promotion programs for Tantramar businesses, with presentations by Ron Kelly Spurls from the municipality, the Regional Service Commission, Tourism Industry Association of New Brunswick, and Destination Southeast. There's also going to be door prizes and light refreshments, and the event is free and no pre-registration is required. The 21st Annual Sports Recognition Night is coming up January 29th, which is tonight at 6 p.m. at the Tantramar Regional High School Auditorium. Certificates will be awarded with a small reception with refreshments to follow in the cafeteria. And I got to make a mental note to try to get that information so we can present it either tomorrow or on Friday's sports update. And if you are going, please let us know. You can always reach out to sports@chmafm.com or station@chmafm.com if you have any local information of any kind, but especially local sports. If you got some numbers, send them to us. I think that is what they've been talking about. Just quickly running along to the CHMA website, chmafm.com. We're checking in on Twee this week. Twee has some community events for the week that is going out on Sunday nights now in the Monday morning email newsletter that you can subscribe to at chmafm.com. Let's see what Twee's put together for us for this week. Last night there was an Indigenous speaker series, the history of Mi'kmaq quill work, and last night was also Bagtown's trivia. Duckies trivia. Is it this week or was it last week? They're doing on again, off again, just like they are on their open mic nights. So double check, because it's happening, but I can't keep it straight which week is which. And if you know, just let us know. The Sackville Film Society for tonight is Bad Shabbos. Yes, that is Thursday. It's directed by Daniel Robbins. The film follows the interfaith engagement couple as they plan a Shabbat dinner for the first meeting of their parents, only to have an unexpected death interrupt their carefully laid plans. Tickets are available at the box office with 6-pack punch cards for $66 and single admissions for $12. And as I mentioned before, Ducky's open mic night might be this one, might be the next one. Double check. Coming up on Monday, the Reduid Casino is the fun social Cuban circle dance at the Curling Club. That'll be on Monday. Next week, the 4th to Saturday the 7th, is a puppet cabaret, the Nocturnal Variations, and that is Ian McFarlane and student creators. They're inviting audiences into an endless night of sleepless dreams where the performers are more than human and the cabaret feels surreal. Featuring original puppet acts, this design-focused devised theater project explores the precarity of the current moment and the humor, grace, and touch of absurdity, and is recommended for audiences ages 14 and up. And that is next Wednesday, February 4th, until Saturday, February the 7th, at the Moiter Fancy Theatre at the Purdy Crawford Centre for the Arts. And they have a Dorchester Poets Circle coming up Tuesday, February the 3rd. Louis Paul Tattoos is hosting a Poet Circle, and that is going to be happening at the Greater Dorchester Moving Forward Co-op, and that's over in Dorchester. So there you go. It is 9:20, and that is your CHMA news. We're going to move out of the news segment. Before we do, I got a couple of announcements for you, and then we will we'll get into some music in just a second.
Hey folks, if you're looking for something to do on a Sunday afternoon with your kids under the age of 12, you can drop in on February 8th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Owens Art Gallery. You can bring your Valentine's Day ideas to life by creating GIFs, and the best part is that there is no registration required and it's completely free. So don't miss out, folks.
Nocturnal Variation, a puppet cabaret by Ian McFarlane and student creator, turned Motier Fancy Theater into a night of sleepless dream and more than human performer, exploring our uncertain moment with humor, grace, and a little absurdity. The show ran from Wednesday, February 4th to Saturday, February 7th, starting at 7:30 p.m. at the Purdy Crawford Center of the Art, or 152 Main Street, Sackville. Tickets are $5 and available through Ticket Owl.
And that was your CHMA news. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantramara's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com. Okay, it is now 9:21. I'm your host, James Anderson, jumping on the mic after being away for almost a week. Well, off the radio for a week, but I got back into town yesterday. But it was late, so I had to rest. But yeah, thanks to Siley and to Twee and to Ashna and Eric, and hopefully Joseph was planned to get started up this week, but we'll see if Joseph, our new host, will be joining us as well, and to Maya Noel, of course. It was really nice listening to CHMA the whole day. And we had a really nice moment of driving from here to Halifax last Friday. And we left pretty early, just in time for, I think it was in time. We were listening to classical music. And by the time we got out of range of CHMA, we switched over to the morning show, to the stream online, which was pretty easy to do. And I strongly encourage it if you're outside of our range. It sounded great. And we listened through the morning show with Kimmy. And it was into Siley with the rest of the second half of the morning show on the 2-hour drive, and it was a beautiful radio morning drive. We really enjoyed tuning into the Voice of the Marshes, because it's one thing to always be on this side of the microphone, but it's not too often that I get to be on the other side of the speaker. I listen a lot, but not in that casual kind of way of just driving down the highway listening to radio as I love to do. So yeah, that's it was very pleasant. Got some music coming up. I have the Barties Strange with Ain't Nobody Making Me Higher, and Paths from Wild Little Spring, and Karen Campbell with Act Your Age. And I'll be back in just a few minutes to finish off the second half of the morning show.
Down the lane seems familiar, though I've never been here before. The light plays games, hedgerows filled with creatures unseen. It's been an age, but I still know their names. Still know their names. And I will follow.
Put your cards down on the table. You know I never tell a lie. And I'd change for you if I could. You know I would. Lay it all down on the line. You know there ain't nobody making me high. 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 I feel two-toned, I'm a demon. Had to travel all its life. When the devil went to Georgia,